are in. Philip of Strut using the Super Dragons. We've already seen a little bit of variety in the first wall. This is something we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I feel like it's really, as well, the question of bases, because we have so far seen a lot of diamond bases during the first match, but this match is already kicking things off with, well, complete different style, the ring bases, which are right now a really, really good base style, because they are so good with those rage towers. So the question is, can those Super Dragons overwhelm the core and take down the town hall?
I feel they can always trip you up, the ring-style bases, but he's held the Battle Blimp until he's ready to use that Warden ability, so he can capture all of these Super Dragons moving through this raged area and the Battle Blimp. Huge damage coming in, but he's got the protection.
He got the protection indeed, and there is no Tornado Trap, but he has decided to go with the Yetis, which is luring out the Clan Castle, but they just go over and go for the Queen, which is not the biggest threat, but the core, well, there's still quite a few defenses left standing, and the majority of Super Dragons went to the far right side.
Not ideal. He definitely wanted those two grounded expos and the Clan Castle with the Super Dragons. So with them all peeling off to the side, decides to turn one of them invisible to capture that expo, maybe give him a glimmer of hope. Is it going to get it down? Oh, it's just. I thought it was going to retarget.
Wow, the Bitterhearts tried their best to keep it alive, but the good news for him right now is he has the Barbarian King, he has the Royal Champ still for the back, and with all of those compartments open, they can enter wherever they want. It's now all about this back end. The King is there, we have the defending Monolith, and the Rage Tower is slowly reloading, Judah.
It is. Just used that skeleton spell, obviously because of the Monolith. Feel like he's going to have to use the Rage Tower right in the middle, just behind the Monolith once he takes that down. He's still got the hero abilities. This is just such a huge damage area. We know how devastating the Rage Towers can be. It pops, the Expos are firing at the heroes. Is he going to get this?
The Royal Champ coming in, making sure that the first Inferno Tower is going down. The Rage area is still there. Are there any skeleton traps? And the defending Queen is up there as well. Is that too much damage? But this looks good with the Queen ability left and the Rage spell left. This should be the first 3-star of our second match of this year's World Championship.
Using the Rage spell just for fun at the end. The Archer Queen ability will be able to get these final few buildings, and opening 3-star for Strut, which means the pressure is on Repotted Gaming from the start.
That's right, and we have talked about how the teams have performed over the last couple of months, over this entire year, because we have all of those stats from the Competitive Clash Network, making sure those teams are, well, showcased in those numbers. And the defensive power of Repotted is, as we said, one of the best. But their offense is not on the same level, just stats-wise, as Strut. So the question now is, with Strut starting off that strong, can they answer, and can they get their first 3-star with their first attack, which would be massive for them?
It certainly would be, and I feel at this point you really have to respond. The war can easily slip away from you very early on if you're not able to start putting those stars on the board. But it is going to be interesting to see whether they continue with those same styles of bases. Let's take a look.
So it looks like that next player is getting ready. We have Darkstar on defense. It seems to be as well one of those core Town Hall bases. I wouldn't call this really a ring base, but they're using the same method of trying to make sure that the Rage Towers are covering as many defenses as possible. But this makes sure that, well, a lot of defenses are close together, and the Lightning Spell is coming in early on to give this Titan attack a really good chance.
All about setting up the funnel for the Titans. I always like to see when you can use one of the heroes to tank, whether it's a mortar or an expo, since that can actually fire at the Flame Flinger. It's one of the few defenses it can't outrange. So really nice job down to the bottom of the base there, and you can see just trying to set up the funnel either side whilst he's got the time to do so, because once the Titans come in, he has to be focused on everything going on with his spells.
That's right, and he's not waiting any longer. He is ready. The warden has to follow, and that's exactly what he does. I'm a little bit scared of that bitter hut. That could really mess up the pathing right there, but there is a skeleton trap to lure that queen into the right direction as well. Is she going there? Is she coming back? I'm scared. Oh no, this is not looking good for the funnel for Repotted Gaming. A couple of troops are going inside, but, well, at least the healers are following.
The healers did follow. I wasn't sure where they were going to go there, but it is unfortunate that the Archer Queen is stuck down at the bottom. The Electro Titans can get pretty good value in the center here, and maybe it'll work out for him if he can power through this Town Hall. But without the Queen, it's a little bit tricky. You don't have that backup plan. It does fall, though, and the Royal Champion is reinforcing at the top side of the base.
I mean, at least this means that the Queen is not caught inside that poison tower, like inside that poison of the Town Hall. With the Royal Champ coming in from the top side, a great skeleton spell to distract that monolith. But we have the back end. The Queen is kept alive with her ability, and I think as long as this Tesla farm with the Expos getting overpowered, this looks pretty good.
Well, let's see what he has inside the Flame Flinger here. The Archer Queen gets the air defense. Yeah, I was figuring it might be rocket balloons, so that's ideal to ping forward, get one of those seeking air mines out of the way. Yet he's stuck on the outside of the base. Is he going to have enough to follow through with this? With only 50 seconds, Itsu, it could even come down to time on this one, I think.
Oh no, I can for sure tell that the players on voice are calling right now if that multi-influence tower is in range for minions to place onto that clan castle to take that out already. But Judo, take a look at that. There is no wall opening around the top side. The Queen cannot leave that power again, which means with 27 seconds left, this is not looking good for Repotted.
It's not. It is going to be into the 90s, but it's not the 3-star that Strut had put up. Interestingly, in the community tournaments, these teams have played 13 times, with Repotted Gaming winning 8 of those matches. So Repotted having the better success, but there's nothing like the world final stage. It's a totally different ball game, and after one attack each, it is Strut in the lead.
That's right, Strut in the lead, and they're up next, so that could even push this lead even further, put more pressure on Repotted. And especially at this World Championship stage, we have heard from the teams, in most of the cases, being Team B, which means attacking second, is a pretty good spot to be in. But for those top teams with those incredible hit rates, Team A is sometimes better because you can put up the pressure, especially on the stage, if you're falling behind and putting the pressure on the other team. It is not easy to really keep that mental going, and we see already there with the reaction, they were pretty confident with the plan, it feels like, and it did not work out for them. So I am worried what is about to come, but Strut is next, so let's take a look at that.
Torres getting ready to attack with the twin Hog Riders. The Queen charge first. What's your initial thoughts looking at this base, Itsu, starting with the Flame Flinger on the left?
I mean, it's another ring base, another rage tower stack in the middle. And typically they were designed to counter Queen charges. So I'm really looking forward to see how one of the best Queen charge attacker in the entire world is going to handle this as he's charging in from this bottom side right into that Eagle Artillery. There's going to be double Expos raged up, double Scatters raged up. The Flinger is going to have great value, but it's not taking down any of the key defenses.
Exactly. I always find with these bases, it gets a bit more hectic in the middle. You have to react a lot more because you can't always plan what's going to happen when there's so many defenses there. So far, so good for Torres. Popping that King ability to clear out the defenses on the left-hand side. Just get that Clan Castle hull, and they will momentarily then be moving down to the Archer Queen, where the Rage Tower can hopefully then start expiring.
Yeah, that's right. Handling the Clan Castle right now as the Rage Tower on defense was triggered by the King. And as you correctly said, it's now expiring, but take a look at that. This damage is just crazy. The Flinger already opened, so it got like 4 defenses, I think, and mainly Archer Towers or Wizard Towers, which is not the worst, but not what you're looking for. And now he has to make sure that Town Hall is still up there. And this is the important thing and the tricky thing about those ring bases. If things are going wrong, they are going really wrong.
He managed to get a couple of the Seeking Air Mines, but you can see Healers inside the radius of the Multi-Inferno. Raging again. He has no rage spells left, Itsu, just a single freeze, which he decides to use now, and now reinforcing with the Hog Riders to the center as well.
Oh, he's really trying to get that tower, but if there is the tornado trap and keeping those hogs inside the tower of poison, this would be really bad news. The scatter fires once. The raid tower is not going off, but there's another bomb tower. Early warden ability. This could be a really low percentage if those hogs are not avoiding the town hall. The town hall's going down, which is massive for him. Where are the hogs going?
Oh, some of them went inside, some of them did dodge it, but they went instantly into a giant bomb. Huge damage with two raged up multi-target Infernos trying to reinforce with the regular Hog Riders. But look at all of the Tesla by the Builder Huts as well. There is just so much going on General X's base. Rigatores is not going to be able to pull through here.
That's right, but he is getting quite a few percentages considering how the Queen Charge has went. So really, really solid. But still, the Multi-Inferno Tower and the other defense are left standing. But in 18 seconds and with the Warden alive, he's going to push up those percentage, but they're not going to be equal to what Repotted just had. So now it's up to them catching up, getting a 3-star, and then like everything is returned. I mean, the pressure is then on Strut. If the percentage lead might be on Repotted, might be on Strut, but first Repotted has to do their attack.
Absolutely. I feel like down to the 6 o'clock area, maybe he could have funneled that just a little bit more so the Archer Queen went straight in towards the multi and the Expo, because I think the second rage spell he used, maybe he would have been able to delay that had the 6 o'clock area have been cleared out, but I guess we'll never know. So it is a lead still, but anything can happen after this next attack.
That's right, the next attack is happening really soon with, well, the answer, or maybe no. We will really have to make sure that we're keeping a close eye on this next attacker. Let's see who is it going to be for Repotted. All of those players are really experienced and returning to the big stage, knowing how to perform, how to do their attacks.
I mean, despite having a lower percentage, Strut does already have the 3-star, so let's see if Repotted can get one of their own.
Repotted is in, and there we go. It feels like the first match, both teams like handshaked on using diamond bases. Those two teams just agreed on using only ring bases, or like they just both predicted that the other team would not be that good with those ring bases. Either way, it's quite interesting. We see another Titan smash from Repotted. They feel like this has to be the answer to those ring bases. It has not worked in the first attack. It was close. We have to give them that. But in the end, it didn't work out. The lightnings are in. And I feel like the idea of this attack is to get your Titans into the first rage tower, take down the back-end rage tower, and make sure that you, well, get the town hall, then have the Royal Champ circle around the tubes.
That obviously does look like the plan. I guess the advantage of the Electro Titan is any Clan Castle troops can be vaporized alongside skeleton traps, but I remember you saying that for ring bases, Super Bowlers are often a good choice, especially when you're driving into the town hall. So I wonder whether you feel this base lends itself more to the Electro Titans.
I mean, I'm a huge Super Bowler enjoyer, so I just think they work on any core base. I typically think with Lightnings not that great because the Rages are just working so well with them. But we have the Titans, and they were great without Rages, and that's why you bring those Lightnings with Repotted. Now pushing further into the base, the King is leading the charge, and Judo, this time, the Queen is in that middle.
Good job there. He did freeze the Rage Tower early to stop it activating so that he could time the Warden ability now with that Rage Tuck Expo to mitigate damage. Town Hall should be falling momentarily, and a lot of the troops can hopefully then just sideswipe and keep out of the way, or as I say that, everything getting thrown in. The multi-target Inferno is there. Finally it goes down, but everything other than the Queen is inside that poison.
Oh no, the King is now up there, but at least the King is now tanking some of the air traps. The Royal Champ is getting sent in there. The backhand Monolith, that is going to be a really big, painful defense to have on their backhand. Yet again, they have another Rage, so maybe the Rage can somehow carry this. The question is, where is he going to use it? He's going to use it for the Royal Champ. He has to get that Monolith. The Queen with her ability and the Unicorn, they should stay alive for quite some time.
Maybe he can get the healers to go across to that Royal Champion as well, but to be honest, there's not a lot left here, and he should be able to get this. Skeleton Trap pops, but once that Monolith is down, there is nothing else to stop him with the Queen ability. General X is going to answer here for Repotted Gaming, and they will take the lead due to the lower percentage attack from Rigatores.
Yeah, I have to say that the approaches of Repotted to those ring bases looked really, really promising. And even the first attack, there were only a couple of things going wrong. Imagine if that Queen would have went into the core, as on this attack, this entire attack could have looked different. So I like that Repotted have apparently a counter to those ring bases, where it looked like more from Strut. They were kind of like playing the strategies, which they are really, really good at, and kind of like forcing those strategies a little bit, because, as I said, Queen Charge Twin Hogs is just so hard versus those double Rage Tower bases, and especially with the ring bases where everything is just happening at the same time.
Yeah, and as you correctly said, Repotted Gaming do have one of the strongest defensive side of things on their play, so maybe we can see a lot more variety in bases feeding into what they're expecting Strut to go with. But at the moment, with two bases like that, we'll have to see. Let's see what Strut can do next. This is a huge attack for Darkstar, falling behind on percentage. Only 2 attacks in, so they know they've still got plenty of time to catch up. They just need to keep calm. Still anybody's game at this point. Do have the Blimp flying into the center. The Super Barbarians to follow up, but it is all about this opener.
It's all about the opener, but I think it's going to be super minions. That's right, there goes the clones. Few red mines, but not enough to take all of them out. And remember, super archers are strong, but with a lot of traps, they can be countered quite well. But super minions, it's way harder to trap them. And so far, I mean, take a look. I think at this point we have to count which defense he has not taken care of. I mean, that is just crazy. By now, we can see 2 Expos left. We can see no scatters, no monolith. I mean, 1 Inferno Tower is gone as well. That was quite a bit of value.
I'm sure he's not devastated if that Rage Tower reactivates with nothing around it. But we do have the heroes moving into the left side now. It's all about just creating the funnel at this point, keeping the heroes moving through into the core of the base so they can snipe off those defenses as they go. And he's got 10 Hog Riders in order to help with that, presumably to the cannons up there across the northeast side.
That's right, but there goes the defensive Rage spell. The good news for him is with the super minion blimp, he still has quite a few of the spells left. The king is reinforcing the middle troops, the Royal Champ on the outside, and it seems like there's not much left of the space at this point, with still a super barbarian swarming the back end, and still another skeleton spell left to deploy.
We talked about the experience of a lot of these players when the pressure is on, really needing a 3-star, ripping apart the base. 1 minute and 20 left with multiple hero abilities, Hog Riders jumping into those final few defenses. I'm surprised we haven't seen celebrations yet, because this is all but guaranteed at this point. There we go, Darkstar getting the 3-star and making sure Strut are right there, keeping the pressure on Repotted. They want this opening round victory. They do not want to go to that lower bracket. Fantastic attack.
And what a crazy attack that was. Really, really impressive. And yeah, showing kind of the mind games, like blimping where the bomb tower was, but with the super minions and not the super archers. So really nicely done. And with that, well, they have gotten another 3-star. Well, now it's back to Repotted then, but I think we should take a second look at that last attack where things went really downhill for that base, because I think that base is going to go right from the account.
Yeah, let's just erase that one.
Not going to use it again. I mean, that base got wrecked.
Bye, Dark!
Good job.
Always nice to hear these.
Share me the army.
Yeah. Already sharing the chat.
It was Ice Golem, right?
I thought after the celebrations they were done there, but asked to gem your army. Always great to hear the team comms as well. One thing I did really like, actually, at the start of that, he used the clones side by side to make sure he just had a bit of a better spread on the super minions. And you saw how effective that was for ripping open the core of the base. So if you are doing that strategy at home, just remember to alternate those clone spells a little bit so you get a little bit of a better spread on the minions.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting with the voice comms right there, in the end, we have said Ast is the most experienced player there, and right as the attack finished, he asked, okay, what was the clan castle? In the end, they even triggered a couple of spring traps and giant bombs on the outside versus flingers, which is then like telling you already, okay, this is what Repotted has trapped. So those are the important things. Like, keep being concentrated, and I think we should be concentrated as well, because we're going right into the next attack.
Feels like every attack we say the pressure is on, because it really is that intense here. The World Finals, and you always want to get a victory in the opening match, obviously. Starting with the Flame Flinger to the right side, just to get the attack started. Once he knows the Flinger is safe and the Warden is doing its thing up to the north of the base, he can then use the Lightning. He's not wasting any time, just to make sure that if it does come down to the wire, as we have already seen today, he's been as time efficient as possible.
That's right, really trying to make sure everything is in his favor when it comes down to time, when it comes down to the, well, pathing of his troops. Now the question is, which we all have to ask, is he going to be able to funnel his queen into the base?
Well, we will find out in the next 2 minutes and 15 seconds, or I guess sooner than that, as we start with the Ice Golems just to tank out in front. A couple of balloons flying into this as well, just to make sure you're testing for focal balloons inside the base. Always nice to capture those inside the Warden ability so they can really move into the center. The healers being so pivotal, but outfly some rocket balloons from the clan castle alongside 2 Ice Golems to then slow him down.
Yeah, but take a look at that Flinger, taking down already another key defense on that outside. We have now the Warden ability happening as all of the troops are getting frozen up. The King in the middle is getting put into his Phoenix egg. And the Queen, looks like, so far at least, is avoiding the Town of Poison yet again, which is perfect for him.
Yeah, really nice job, just being able to assure that even once the Electro Titans get the Town Hall, they can go down. They've done their job. He's then relying on the Queen, the Royal Champion, with the rocket balloons taking down that monolith. He can be very flexible now with his 2 freeze spells that he's got left over.
That's right, and Repotted really came prepared with those ring bases. They have their counter prepared, and it looks like it's all about Titans. It's all about those lightning spells, taking down 1 Rage Tower. 1 remaining Rage Tower is not as threatening anymore,
Well, I'm certainly going to be taking notes, because I'll be honest, I do not like attacking these bases. Whenever I see these in war, I'm next. Please find a base that doesn't look like this. But it is going to be a returning 3-star. We've talked about how close these teams are, constantly throwing 3 stars back to back. Mech not quite celebrating yet, making sure he is dialed into the very last second, and even swagging that final freeze, not quite. Making sure the Barbarian King doesn't get any shots off. Always love to see that. 100% now going through. Fantastic job.
I mean, time might matter in the end. This is always the important thing. Stars is the most important thing, then it's percentage, then time is the tiebreaker. So making sure that your attack is as quick as possible is just playing it safe. And that's exactly what all of those teams are doing, with taking a look again at the perfect timing of that Warden ability, catching the King before he goes into the Phoenix egg with like literally 0 hit points, and then the Queen avoiding that Town of Poison. The celebration is there, the players stay concentrated, but they got the job done. Back to Strut, and the pressure is on.
Indeed. What type of... I feel like the bases are all over the place as to what we're going to expect, so let's take a look. I am nervous for them. Mask with the Queen charge, Twin Hogs, and the recall spell. I always love seeing some recall attacks.
Yeah, and it feels like that Repotted really have like said, okay, Strut will use their comfort strategies in this tournament, which are quite some of those players Queen charges, and that's why they bring those Rage Tower bases. They know that Philip, for example, is really good to attack those, but then if you put up 5 ring bases, at least one of them has to be attacked by someone who doesn't like to go up against them with the strategy which they typically like to go. And this so far is looking solid. The recall, Mickey just through the Queen is going the right direction, which is quite interesting. But, well, that's already one big spell down. The Queen has quite a few rages left to go with, but that Town Hall is really far away.
It certainly is. Setting up the funnel over at the east side of the base. A couple of those loons in order to test with the battle blimp now, aiming to dive into this area. Maybe that can just wipe out the defenses to the left of the Town Hall so that when he swipes through, he's not going to get distracted. They can beeline to the Town Hall itself.
That's right, but it was a heavy investment. I think he has not gotten that much with the Yeti Mites because of the Rage Scatter. Remember, the Rage Scatter one-shots Yeti Mites. So if the timing is unlucky, then you're not looking that good. And that is exactly what's happening to Musk right now. I mean, Queen charging into those bases just feels so painful. And I think the Town Hall is still far away. The Rage Tower reloading, but that's 2 Expos on his way. The Scatter and the Monolith is then really closely after that.
He's handling his nerves very well. I just noticed as when the raged Expos were on the Queen, how quick her health went down, but he's managed to preserve that ability for when he's in the center, and the King perfectly funnels that right side, so the Queen can walk around the wall now. My main concern, I was about to say, is time, but on the 1-minute mark, that's where he's now sending the Hog Riders, since he's confident the Archer Queen is getting that Town Hall.
Yeah, now the question is, can he power it through? Just the Scatter alone is not enough power. There goes the freeze for the Town Hall and the second Rage. The Queen is now, I was about to say, not raged up. That's the defensive rage. There's a lot of rages happening right now in that core. But the vulnerability was earlier. The Queen should get the Town Hall, but there's still defenses behind that.
Yeah, I feel like he had to start the Hog Riders. I think he wanted the Queen to get the Town Hall, Hogs to swoop around the backside of it. But with time ticking down, even if you fail, you have to consider, if you time fail and have a bunch of troops on the board, that's not as good as sending them in early and just getting that percentage. And I really feel that's just what happened in this scenario, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is really bad news for Strut, because remember, they have, if they might lose this match, they have to play later today versus VN Esporting for an elimination match.
Wow.
And if VN Esporting has prepared some ring bases, this is showcased to be a really big weakness to Strut. I mean, they're playing their strategies, which is a lot of Queen charges. And this is not the way on how you want to approach those ring bases. It has shown multiple times now that those Queen charges just do not work versus those type of bases. And if VN Esporting might have prepared one of those, it might not look good. But now, we're still in this match. Repotted is up next, and they could get a huge lead depending on whatever they do next.
Absolutely, lots of speculation, and I would assume that a lot of the teams do have ring bases, because it always tends to be something that trips up a team every once in a while. But let's see what the next attack brings.
Timtastic is up next, and he is going in with the Lalo. So he's not following his teammates with the Zap Titans, and he is going with his comfort attacks, which are the more like multiple stage attacks. I think we could call it that way. Like last year, he had like a crazy Zap walk into Lalo attack strategy, which has worked quite well for them. But this year, it seems to be just the regular Zap Lalo, and that's what he's all about. And it's all about what his heroes can get, because if this Queen is going to get the Town Hall, and this is what it looks like so far he is trying to aim for, that would be massive for him.
Fantastic dexterity. You can just see his fingers all over on the iPad there, but controlling this fantastically well with the skeleton spell, tanking for the heroes and the monolith. He's really not taken much damage at this point with his heroes. The Archer Queen can sideswipe no defending heroes, and then the monolith with the Royal Champion now reinforcing from the 3 o'clock area. This looks like a phenomenal opener to me.
But remember, there's no invisibility spell, so the Queen, if the Clan Caster comes out, might be stuck stuck on that for quite some time. And where's the Queen going next? Is it the gold storage? We know the Queen sometimes like to go different places, but no. It is on the Town Hall, and he's popping that ability right away. That Town Hall is down. This opening looks massive, and he even triggered the back-end Rage Tower. This looks just... And the second Rage... I mean, are you kidding me?
All planned.
Of course.
All planned. The Archer Queen, like you said, the ability to just get that Town Hall down before she goes to the CC troops. Now we can see the Lalo moving in. Does he even swap the Siege Machine at this point? Had the Battle Blimp, maybe just in case, or he sends it to the back end scatter shot to swipe that area, holding on to that Warden ability until they move through the multi-target range, which you can see pops it now with the Rage spell. More balloons with the Stone Slammer, yeah, for that, or the Battle Blimp, sorry, for that back end scatter shot.
I'm wondering right now if this is really like the best siege which he thinks right now, or if it was more about like, okay, I want to get this scatter out and maybe don't even have enough of the siege, but it doesn't matter. After that hero power, he just obliterated that base. And I think for all of the other teams out there, you do not want to use ring bases against Repotted. They know what they are doing. This is looking incredible. And Repotted and Timtastic are looking really strong with yet another 3-star.
Like I said, I thought he was one of the most impressive players last year, coming out swinging on the opening attack of his 3 stars, putting Repotted Gaming in the lead by a star with just 1 attack to go. And maybe Strut can take a little bit of lessons from these Zap Titans and the Lalo, because they are clearly working against this type of base.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They might just have to really make sure that for possible later match, they have to somehow like take the time and practice their offense versus ring base, because it is clear that it's not working versus the base from Repotted. But at the same time, the ring base is not the ring. It's not a ring base. Like there's differences in how it's set up, and we have praised Repotted multiple times how good they are as base builders. So we should have to give credits where credits are deserved. But let's take a look at the next attack, because we're going right in.
Team Captain Ast. This is it. He's got to get the 3-star in order to put the pressure on Repotted, so that they need that high percentage 2-star, and even, you know, the 3 to get the victory. Flying straight in with the Battle Blimp, using the clone on the minions, just like we saw before, managing to protect all of them so far. But how much value can he get here? He's got 1 more invisibility spell after this.
Have I missed something? Is Repotted using the same base again? I mean, this looks exactly like the base which they have used earlier and got tripled with exactly this approach. I mean, except I'm missing something, but well, at least this time they have not gotten the same value overall as in the last attack. So the question is, with both Rage Towers staying alive, is this still going to be enough?
Well, it was such an overwhelming attack last time that you'd have to say most likely, but whenever there are heroes in the middle and just that little bit of unpredictability, that's what really can make the ring bases very effective. So Rage Tower does pop, instantly freezing to mitigate damage, and he's got the wall open so he can push in with his heroes. Still holding on to that Royal Champion, just waiting for the right moment to reinforce with her. He's still got a lot of Barbarians and Hog Riders as well.
Yes, but this time around, there is a heavy backhand. I mean, we see now Rage Up Scatter, Rage Up Monolith, and Rage Up Multi-Inferno Tower. I mean, we can just kind of skip the Bomb Tower, but at least a lot of Rage Up defenses. And take a look, that Titan is going down really quick.
Yeah, he's gonna probably use the Queen ability in a moment here, unless he gets fortunate. Yeah, enemy Queen locked on, so the Queen ability is going to... No! Oh! I thought he was gonna press it manually.
Oh,
he was trying to save it.
There's just so much damage, which you have to, like, you have to use your hero abilities early, and this might be another defense. Still, I'm not sure what exactly happened here. Like, Repotted, have they messed up and used the same base again? Have I messed up and like recognized the base wrong, or like
it worked?
What is going on here? But it has worked in the end. That is just crazy. And you said as well, like it was an overwhelming first 3-star versus this base, and this has gone completely different.
That's what I feel is one of the main strengths of a ring base. Even if you know how to take it down, you can do the same attack again, but just because of the unpredictability in the center, if something goes wrong, you have to be able to react, and a lot of the time, that's what ends up tripping up the players and even results in lower percentages as well. Definitely not the finish that Ast wanted, which means a strong 2-star finish from Repotted would move them on and knock Strut down to the lower bracket to play VN Esporting later today.
That's right, and they are playing in our first elimination match, like the first team which would drop out of this competition. I mean, this is not where you want to be in, and especially for Strut. This has happened to them last year. So, well, first, Repotted has to get 2 stars, which is normally a challenge which you can handle. I mean, that should be possible for sure. But especially on ring bases, as we have seen, things can go wrong. So let's see what the safest approach, in their opinion, is, with seeing yet again how their queen is going down.
And even with the added pressure, you know, you think a 2-star is, oh yeah, they got this in the bag. But with the added pressure of the World Championship Finals, it's certainly not easy, you know, so we will have to find out whether they can do that. I have confidence they can, but pressure is still on at this point. Let's see if they can do it.
The last attack for this match. Repotted needs 2 stars, and we see a complete different base. Maybe Musk has forgotten to switch the spare towers, because I see poison towers. What is going on there?
Maybe it's a secret defensive strategy. I did reference the Super Bowlers earlier, which obviously are going to be used in this case with a cloned Yeti Blimp Itsu. Gets the Eagle, will get the multi-target Inferno, and a bunch of the surrounding defenses as well.
That's just looking great. I mean, Temper is like one of the craziest German players there is, which is really hard to say because there's still Tribe Gaming, which are arguably quite good. So Temper is just really, really insane as well, and does a lot of times more creative styles, like this one. Like, I would say Yeti Clone Blimp is not that common, but he did a really good job in like funneling the one corner, other corner now with the king, and those Super Bowlers should have no other way than just going straight for the core. There's not as much damage with having poison towers now.
We've got to shout out the real MVP, the clean-up lava pup over there at 10 o'clock, just making sure he doesn't time fail. Like you said, though, beautiful funnel set up to the 3 o'clock area so the Super Bowlers can move in and they can get that bounce through the Town Hall as well, with the Warden ability still left to use. He can use that in combination with the Rage. Here we go to try and push through the back-end defenses as well and bring themselves closer to victory, Itsu.
And take a look at that. The Bowlers bounced that Town Hall over the Ice Golem, which means he could now delay that Warden ability. That is just such a massive play of delaying the Warden. And now he has blocked the majority of the Town Hall poison. Red Mines are getting blocked. This Warden ability was clutch.
Amazing job. He's still got the Archer Queen ability, the Royal Champion ability, and the freeze. Percentage is surely there, but he wants the 3-star to give a dominant victory for Repotted as well, as the RC ability is used, freezing the enemy queen. It's not quite going to be the 3-star, but he's done what he needed to do, and Repotted Gaming get the victory in this one.
12-13 is going to be the final score. Repotted is going to be your winner. And they're going to face Na'Vi later this weekend.
And with the strength of their defenses, I really look forward to seeing that matchup. But we will be seeing Strut later today in the lower bracket matchup. Let's find the final percentage. 84% it is going to be, and we will have the celebration of Repotted Gaming. What a performance, offensively and defensively. Fantastic job. I told you it was difficult to predict, but it is Repotted Gaming with the victory.
What a great match that was indeed. We have said defense is going to be an important factor, and I think it was. Both teams with the ring bases, but Repotted with a better strategy against it.
Yeah, they had the counter, and like I said, I will certainly be taking notes because I do not like attacking those. The Electro Titans shredding through the inside. Even the Lalo, I don't think I'll maybe get to that level of Timtastic, but phenomenal job. They kept their cool through that entire process as well. And I look forward to seeing how far they can go.
That's right, but let's hear from the players themselves, and let's see what they have to say. Let's go down to the stage.